Okay, welcome back to the Bootleg Corner. This is Film Commentary Hours, and we'll be diving into this one without any suspense or preamble of any kind. Now, the hottest movie out right now, which is, I think that should be The Long Walk. It was adapted from a novel written by Stephen King. Now, Stephen King is like an extensive author, written over 63 books. The day I checked his bibliography, I was surprised. I was stunned because I was thinking, where did he find the time to write this many novels in this short amount of time? Because he's a crazy writer. He's the guy who wrote the It novel, where the It movie was adapted from, and It Part 2, the sequel or the prequel to It, is coming out, I think, in December or November. I think the name is Welcome to Derry. So, I think November or December, we should be getting prepared for that. But the marketing campaign for The Long Walk is something out of the ordinary, because this one, the premise of this movie is, I think 100 boys are going to go on a 450-mile walk. And they have to walk at a pace of 4 miles per hour, and you cannot stop for I think, is it more than 1 minute or so, but you have a limited break of stopping. You have to continue moving constantly at a pace of 4 miles per hour, or else you get shot dead. That's just basically it. 100 boys have to walk for 150 meters without stopping for longer than a particular limit of time, and if you slow down below that 4-minute mile, is basically a gunshot for you. So that's the premise of the movie, and we don't really know who's going to survive at the end. But the marketing premise of this one is that but they are screening this movie, and for people who are going to be seeing it, are going to put under conditions to walk at a 3-mile-per-hour pace. If not, they will be thrown out of the movie. So they are basically going to simulate the actions that are happening in the movie with the real world outsiders. So the guys who are going to be watching this movie have to be walking at a pace of 3 miles per hour, while the guys who are in the actual movie are walking at a pace of 4 miles per hour. Now in the movie, if you slow down below 4 miles per hour, or you stop more than 30 seconds break or so, you get shot. But for people who are going to be watching this in theaters, if you slow down below, or if you just stop from the 3 miles per hour, you get taken out of the theater. That's your theater experience has ended. And this is one of the most wild, I think this is the wildest I've seen so far, because normally in theaters, people go and sit down just to chill, take their drinks and their popcorn and whatever. But this one, I think they are going to be treadmills in the theater. So treadmills in the theater, and you have to keep up your pace 3 miles per hour. The movies are usually 2 hours long. So you have to walk at least 2 hours for at least 2 hours at 3 miles per hour constantly. You have to be walking and watching the movie. If not, you get thrown out of the theater, and that's the end of the movie experience. And I think this is one of the wildest, not really the wildest, but I think this is the wildest I've heard of and I've seen so far. And I think it's been taking social media by storm, and I knew I had to talk about this one. Now the next thing is, James Gunn has announced Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, will be in theaters July 9th, 2027. That's 2 years from now. Superman Part 2 has been greenlit already. I announced this via Twitter with a poster of Superman and Lex Luthor in the Lex Luthor suit from the comics. And as I said from my Superman review, obviously Lex Luthor is going to come out of jail, and we will not know what the storyline for this one will be. But the title is Man of Tomorrow, and I'm surprised at this because Superman is doing brilliantly at the box office. 200 million budget, 600 million at the box office, critical acclaim and all that. So it's not really a surprise. But Batman Part 2 isn't out yet, and Superman Part 2 is coming out already. So we already know, I think DC, they are moving forward with their plans. So Batman Part 2, I think, is going to be filming next year ahead of release in 2027. Superman Part 2 will also be starting filming next year ahead of release in 2027. Clayface is filming right now in Liverpool in England ahead of release next year. So I think Supergirl has wrapped up filming. They are in post-production now, and probably next year Supergirl will be coming out. So 4 DC projects: Supergirl, Clayface, Green Lantern, the Green Lantern series, it's also coming out sometime either this year or next year. So Green Lantern, Supergirl, Clayface, Batman, and Superman are going to be coming out in the next 2 years. For DC, for DCU enthusiasts and followers, you people are having wonderful meals back to back and stuff like that. But I just have to give my 2 cents on the matter and inform you, or give my perspectives on that. Still the Bootleg on the Bootleg Corner. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to follow, and all that stuff. Keep it locked in, and I'll be back.